from Lee. Lee, well, I love this. I love this email. Lee says, "Hey, Jake and Jordan, sitting here talking with my wife about honorary PhDs while watching a Zack Wheeler start. Assuming he retires without a Cy Young, I think he's deserving of an honorary Cy Young for sustained excellence in the field of pitching. Who are some other current or historic examples of honorary Cy Youngs or MVP winners? Thanks." Lee, thank you for this question. This is, I think, mildly unintentionally disrespectful to Zack Wheeler, who could win the Cy Young this year. So saying you're assuming that he retires without one, like, well, come on, let's not get ahead of ourselves. He might not have to get the honorary Cy Young. I also think that most pitchers would not want hey, so close, almost, like they'd be like, no, I didn't earn this. This is not what I like. Either I get it or I don't. That said, let's go with the spirit of the question, because I do think that he's getting at something that is relevant for people like Wheeler, like Jose Ramirez, and like some other ones. Yeah.
This is what the Hall of Fame is, kind of. Where if you are good enough in the bulk of your work to deserve acknowledgement, the Hall of Fame is the mechanism that does that. Whereas like Zack Wheeler, who won't be in the Hall of Fame because he didn't pitch for long enough, probably. I see your point. Like there's almost this soft, like very small gap between the Hall of Fame and the guys who get into that and the guys who should have gotten the Cy Young or an MVP and don't, right? And that is literally Zack Wheeler.
Yeah. Zack Wheeler, by the way, for those wondering, 1,761 strikeouts. So if you're hoping that he is going to get to 3,000 or even 2,000, 2,000 feels pretty likely. I know we've talked about how he doesn't really intend to pitch that much longer. I think 2,000 will happen. 3,000 is not going to happen. But anyway,
let's use this opportunity to just shower some love on Zack Wheeler for the season he's having. He is second in baseball behind the injured Chris Sale in strikeouts per nine at 11.44. Okay. He is eighth in innings. He is eighth in ERA. Now, if you just go by the National League, he is behind only Paul Skeens in the NL and ERA, and only behind Paul Skeens and obviously Logan Webb and Spencer Schwellenbach in the NL, but that'll soon change. I would say the chances of Zack Wheeler winning the Cy Young, like if I had to handicap it, I would say 40% chance it's Wheeler, 40% chance it's Skeens, 20% chance it's anybody else.
Yeah, that seems about right, but which is relevant to the question here, which is that he could absolutely get off this list. That said, he is right. If he doesn't, if he finishes second or third again, he is up there. I mean, already all time, and this is even for someone who really didn't start compiling great seasons until his late 20s, early 30s. But yeah, he's going to be right up there with Nolan Ryan, and obviously not in bulk, but Adam Wainwright is way up there. Kurt Schilling, nobody's that sad that he didn't get a Cy Young, but that's a hell of a career to not have a Cy Young for sure. So he's going to be right up there. And then, yeah, if we open it up to MVPs, Jose Ramirez is the obvious one, and he's absolutely going to continue to kind of climb up that list. Eddie Murray is a very prominent one there. Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, neither of them ever won an MVP. Al Kaline, Mel Ott, those are Hall of Famers who, of course, were awesome for a really long time that never won MVPs. So it is that Derek Jeter fella was never an MVP. Let's just remind everybody of that. But yeah, so this is not, I think it's a longer list for MVP than it is for Cy Young, but I do think Wheeler is pretty high up there.
There's a great page on Baseball Reference, good website, which is MVP and Cy Young award share leaders. Now, award share, the idea is like when you finish third, you get a certain amount of points for finishing third, and it's the career compilation of all of those votes. And so the number one player on like for MVP to never win a MVP despite having all these win shares is Al Simmons, who I remember watching when I was growing up. And then for the pitchers, it is Adam Wainwright. So you could say Adam Wainwright is the highest vote receiver to never win a Cy Young.
Yeah.
Whereas Kurt Schilling is probably the most accomplished pitcher. Him or Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, because again, like Wainwright finished in the top 3 4 out of 5 years, or I guess 4 out of 6 years because of the injury, which is amazing. That's an unbelievable peak, but not quite good enough. So yeah, Adam Wainwright, honorary Cy Young. We will make that happen.